ஓகே சார், இந்த இந்தியா முஸ்லீம் சமுதாயத்தை பற்றி ஆராய்ச்சி பண்ணுறப்போ உங்களுக்கு எந்த மாதிரி ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ்னால் வந்துச்சு?
ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் ரொம்ப கம்மி இருந்துச்சு. இந்த இந்திய முஸ்லிம்க எனக்கு எந்த உதவியும் கொடுக்க ரெடி இருக்கு. It's been a very positive experience, I must say. Whenever I ask people whether I can get an interview, whether they can help me with this or that, they have been really forthcoming with all sorts of help. They have made photocopies, they have opened their photo albums for me and shown old photos, all sorts of things. So my experience has been very, very positive. And actually I can't recall any really problematic incident.
Okay.
Right? Maybe at one point, it's occasionally you meet people who react very negatively before they actually know you, but that can happen at anywhere at any time. So I must really say my experience has been extremely positive and really marked by a lot of willingness to help, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
Okay, so இது வரைக்கும் இந்தியாவில் மட்டும்தான் இந்த ரிசர்ச் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்களா, இல்லை இந்தியா தவிர்த்து?
No, I have done this research actually. In a sense, I started out in India or with India, but since then I've done a lot of research, especially in Singapore and to a lesser degree in Malaysia. Of course, when you do research of that kind, you also have to go to England because many of the sources are in England. And I had the good fortune at least once to go to Sri Lanka as well. So I think those countries where you really have lots of Tamil speaking Muslims, I have covered them all a little bit in the research. I mean, this research will continue and I hope I will have much more opportunities to go to many other places. But I would say the main has been India and Singapore, and I hope I can improve on the Malaysia and the Sri Lanka parts.
Okay, good. And the research should aim at?
I hope that by this research I can make generally people more aware of the contribution that Muslims from South India have had in the history not only of India, but actually in the history of this whole region around the Bay of Bengal, whether it be India, whether it be Burma, whether it be Malaysia or Singapore or even Indonesia. They have for centuries connected these areas, and this has been a very, very fascinating journey for me to see all these linkages across the ocean, and I really would like to make this better known to the world at large, because I think this has been a very important contribution.
Okay. Personally, what do you gain from this whole research you are doing?
One thing that I have definitely gained over the years is I have gained a lot of friends. So many of the people whom I first simply asked to do an interview with me, or they have become long-standing friends with whom I visit whenever I am in their respective countries, who have shared such a lot of things with me, and this has been a very personally enriching experience.
Is that how you met your wife actually?
Not really.
Alright.
இவ்வளோ ரிசர்ச்சுக்கு அப்புறம் இந்தியன் முஸ்லீமை பற்றி என்ன தெரிய வந்துச்சோம்?
I think one thing that I've learned is really that the Indian Muslims have a great tenacity. They, even if there are failures, even if they go through hard times, they pursue the goal. They keep on trying. Like I mentioned today in the lecture, there was this one editor here in Penang. He started a newspaper. After some time, he had to stop the newspaper because he didn't have the funds anymore. When he got the funds again, he continued publishing it. Again, he had to stop because the funds ran low. Again, he continued it. So whenever he had the opportunity, he continued with his work, even though it was difficult, even though he was obviously not making any money, because he thought it was important. He continued with it. And I think this sort of tenacity to really pursue a goal that you have set for yourself. this is something that I think one can say characterizes the community as a whole.
ஓகே சார், ரிசர்ச் தவிர பர்சனலி உங்களுக்கு இந்தியன் முஸ்லீமில் என்ன பிடிச்சிச்சாங்க? ஃபுட், கல்ச்சர்?
Well, I obviously like like many things, but the food indeed is one of the things I'm very, very fond of. Maybe not for my personal gain, rather for my personal damage, but it is most delicious food. And but I'm generally very, very interested also in, for example, the clothing, the cloth, the patterns of lungis and sarongs and so on. I find them very beautiful, and I think this, as I have already said, this journey has been very rewarding in terms of I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of things that I didn't even imagine existed when I started this research.